This video series is perhaps the most important series anyone has ever made in terms of the ideas I'm discussing, and what I'm being communicated, not the words being used. It is about what it means to restore the divine order. Again, I can't explain to you enough that it is the ideas I'm referring to. The Holy Bible isn't so holy, it is the ideas that it's referring to. And one must extract them. Okay, this is part of what it means to restore the divine order. God is 100% true love. Love is righteousness, true justice, the true moral warrior spirit, true wisdom, truth, the true grace, the true path, the true life, and all the true martial art principles. Okay, so to love your enemy can mean to strike him down in the spirit of love. Anything but true love is the devil. It is adversity. The flesh, in the absence of true love, is of the devil, right? Selfishness versus selflessness. Materialism, okay, versus transcendence and moving toward the source, the core, and the essence of true love. So my first point is the source and the core and the essence of true love is God. He's also, leading to my point number two, he's also the source, the core, and the essence of true righteousness, true justice, the true moral warrior spirit, true wisdom, true love, truth, the true grace, the true path, the true life, and all the true martial art principles. They all have to be together. Without true morality, there is no true love. One can have ill-gotten gains and feel affectionate and be polite and nice with their wife and be all quote-unquote lovey-dovey and have true love if they have ill-gotten gains that they haven't gotten rid of. Okay? These things have to come together. If you're not walking the path of justice, righteousness, true love, the true moral grace, etc., you're not accepting your place in the divine order. Say you're a craftsman and you're kind of clumsy compared to a martial artist. So how do you attain true grace? You have to be in your place, your right place in the divine order as chosen by the Pharaoh, me, the King of Kings, the fair reproductive cycle. Love, creation, God is the creator. It's pretty straightforward. So this is how somebody who's crippled, or somebody who's a craftsman, somebody who's a nerd, okay, this is how they achieve these things. If they're not in their rightful place and obedient to this, then they don't get these things. No one gets to heaven but by me. I am the gate. Okay, I am the gate. Outside of the divine order is outside of all these principles. Okay, you have to obey me, and through me acknowledging your obedience, you can then walk a path of justice. No one who cheats me out of my rightful place as the top martial artist, the Royal African Falcon, pure masculine, transcendent hero martial arts style that I do, is the master form. It is the divine form. Everything else is just everything else. It may as well be monkeys playing around if they're not obeying the core of righteousness to the divine order. Which leads to my third point. Now, some of you are stupid enough to think that I'm wrong, to think that this is a great assumption, and why should you obey me? The third point is very straightforward. There's no excuse for not obeying righteousness through me, and this is why. Listen carefully. In a story, for example, where there is no God, these principles are far more important than preventing the torture and murder of the entire human race. So we can remove the idea of God is love, and these principles are still more important, okay, by themselves. The effect they have than preventing the torture and the murder of the entire human race. The consequences of not living in and with the principles of true righteousness are far worse than the torture and murder of the entire human race. We'll stop there for a moment. I suggest you pause and kind of write down reasons why that could be, why you think I'm wrong. Write them down on a piece of paper. Get your thoughts together. Examination. Examine the Alpha Shun. Observation. Observe the Alpha Shun. Consideration. Consider the Alpha Shun. A equals alpha. Okay, so if you've returned, one should be One should be able to understand this by simply asking themselves, why exactly is the torture and extinction of the human race wrong? Extinct ion. On is Ra's called center. Heliopolis, said to be the center for God in the ancient world, for people studying God. And wherever they were right, they were right. It's that simple. Even if you think Ra is a false pagan human deity, a pagan deity, whatever these martial artists were studying God in the Old Kingdom in the First Dynasty, wherever they were right, obeying the falcon representative Narmer and his forefathers, wherever they were right, they're right. Okay, simple. So the extinct ion represents wherever the martial artists were right, they were right. And if that goes away, then people can never be human again. It's the spiritual extinction. It's the moral extinction. It's the extinction of the humanity in humanity. Okay, pause it, rewind it a minute or so. Listen to me again if you don't understand what I'm saying. All right, it's pretty straightforward. So again, one should be able to understand this simply by simply asking themselves, what exactly is the torture and extinction? Okay, excuse me. Why exactly is the torture and extinction of the human race wrong? If they still do not get it, they should ask themselves, should the people who were complicit with the screening out of the righteous, everyone but me and my parents, who's alive right now, for example, not be punished? Should they not be punished? Why is it wrong? If for nothing else, they have immoral negligence, and it's relative to the martial art principles. If you left your kid in the car in America, you'd still get charged with a crime because it's criminal negligence. One has to care about morality enough to understand how to be morally precise. Okay? Which leads me to my fourth point. The moral warrior spirit, not the knight, not the American martial artist, not the soldier, etc. And ill-gotten gains makes every other path a wrong one, especially a Western one. Okay. One has to have obedience to the Royal African Falcon, pure masculine, transcendent hero, which is an Eri Igbo, Haro Aries, top martial artist line. Part of this is timing. You know, if I tell somebody, hey, go take out that archer, that sniper over there, okay, and we're in a battle, and you take too long and we lose the battle, we lost because your timing was off. Timing is an important principle in warfare. It's an important life principle. It's an important principle in sparring. The injustice of somebody striking me when I'm in the spirit of focus, moral intensity, the true spirit of God, is enough to get me to block them and strike them effectively, etc. Okay, timing. Focus, moral intensity, moral precision, and mind, body, soul, and spirit are connected. Okay, so timing, obedience to the divine order is a martial art order. And God is the core. Okay? Focus, moral intensity, moral precision, and mind, body, soul, and spirit are connected. Now let's kill the eye. Let's quickly get to the truth of the matter, okay, in terms of why I'm right. After Black people suffered the worst sabotage in history. Okay, now 2 of the 7 UFC champs at this time are Nigerian. After a lifetime of me using the Nigerian Civil War, African Americans kind of descent from Nigeria, and the shape of Nigerians, to say that Nigerians are the most in the moral warrior spirit. They are the most moral warriors on the planet. They are the greatest warriors. 2 of the 7 UFC champs at this time are Nigerian. A third and maybe a fourth are of Nigerian descent. Okay? So around a half of the champions of all the races in the world are of Nigerian descent. Now, UFC shows some skills for combat. It's a competition that favors Westerners and grapplers. A more precise and morally precise and focused version of their brute force kind of quick strikes before they take someone down, okay, is the Falcon style. I can work the angles and work the mini angles, skywalking, find my way to them and strike them down and strike up and strike up and strike to the neck and strike to the side and come around and strike to the other side of the neck, okay? It's pretty straightforward. All right, so we see this. In fact, The International Boxing Organization, I believe it's called IBO, EBO. The current British boxing champion is part of the OBE, some kind of group for British people. OBE. So you have EBO and OB, Kuro Obi black belt, the Essential Alpha Essence, okay, the Alpha Sense, which also goes back to Obeisance, to bow, okay, Obeisance, Obeisance, okay. Look up that word. All right. So that about covers that. I can go on and on about why I'm right about this. I do it in other videos, but you should truly see that, hey, you can't say this guy's crazy, he's wrong. You have to address what I just said. If you cannot do that, you have no viable counter-argument, your order is immoral, and you're in denial, and you're using psychology and erotic desire, you haven't transcended the flesh. You can't admit this very obvious fact. All right. Proverbs 1:19 is also why you're wrong. Such are the paths of all who go after ill-gotten gains. It takes away the life of those who get it. On a planet where the majority of people are part of an Abrahamic faith, and it all starts with the Old Testament, how could you ignore Proverbs 1:19? Again, I tell you, such are the paths of all who go after ill-gotten gains. It takes away the life of those who get it. Remember, God is the way, the truth, and the life. If your path is dead because of your ill-gotten gains, how do you then bring in a child when God is the creator? In the true spirit of God, how do you make love to bring in that child as a product of love? No bad tree can bear good fruit. Your children are the children of the dead. And the devil is the Lord of this world, and this world is a land of the dead, and one must transcend this world. It is that simple. Leading me to Psalms 19. I suggest you read Psalm 19 and Psalm 119 very carefully. Psalms 1-5. And 1 Samuel 17. David and Goliath. He's described as the hero or the champion of the Philistines. Okay, the top martial artist is the champion they're referring to in Psalms 19, and the sun and the principles of the sun, the intensity, okay, the life giver, life and death, right, the desert, and so on and so forth. The desert or the fertile soil of West Africa, for instance, okay, is part of why that is. It's a symbol of masculinity, focused moral intensity, potency, the creator, even in Psalms 19. So your sun worship argument is also dead. I suggest you keep it to yourself because it is stupid. Psalms 19, by the time we get through 4-6, it starts with the heavens declare the glory of God. It goes on to say in Psalms 4 that the sun is the bridegroom, okay, in 4-6. In the heavens, God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. Again, it's a symbol of the bridegroom or the bridge room, the way, the bridge, the gate, and the bridge, the way. Okay, the bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. I just struck them down, and I'm running after the Philistines. For example, with the Jews to strike them down. Okay, kind of a thing. Okay, I just struck down their guy in single combat. I'm the king of Egypt, and I'm like saying, I won. It's like a champion rejoicing to run his course, a victory lap, if you will. Also read Exodus 15:3. The Lord thy God is a warrior. The Lord is his name. The ability to sense God in martial arts senses, honing the senses, removing injustice, and thinking with mental clarity, moral, mental, and romantic clarity are basically the same thing. Okay, the nations go down to the realm of the dead. All the peoples that forget God. Okay, Psalms 9:17. The wicked go down to the realm of the dead. All the nations that forget God. Okay, they're going down. Why aren't they just staying the same? Why are they going down? Because you're building toward the dead and not in the true spirit of God. Okay. The translation argument is also stupid. You have to extract the truths, regardless of, this is not the King James Version. Then prove the principles that I'm saying wrong. If you can't, then that argument is stupid. Why even bring it up? The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. Okay, this goes on in Psalms 19. The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The statutes of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, giving joy to the heart. Love, heart, courage, corazon, cor alpha zone. The commands of the Lord are radiant, giving light to the eyes. Mental clarity, moral clarity, romantic clarity, seeing the path. The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. The decrees of the Lord are firm, and all of them righteous. It goes on to say in Psalms 19:14, may the words of my mouth and this meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock, my redeemer. Okay, how does he redeem you? You have to be in the divine order. You can't be in ill-gotten gains on a path of wickedness, going down, following your forefathers to the realm of the dead and be right. Also seems Psalms 106:2. Who can proclaim the mighty acts of the Lord or fully declare his praise? Proclaim, the pro, okay, the champion, the hero, the top martial artist.